I'm going to say this right now. I am not making another part of Let's Play Pokemon Yellow until I'm done with the school year, as I'm very close to it. Basically, I'm doing this out of an effort to try and get all my possible schoolwork done and be as prepared for the finals as I can, so that way I can just get everything done, and then everything's all hunky-dory for me. But I'm going to do the best I can to make it up to you by making a video that I had intended to do later on in the series, but as a makeup I'm doing it right now. The Legend of MissingNo. First off, some of you may be curious, what the hell is MissingNo? It's a glitch Pokemon found exclusively in the red, blue, and yellow versions of Pokemon on the Game Boy. MissingNo has a lot of history and several ways to find it. It also has several different forms, and even has a sister counterpart that looks exactly alike, but I'll talk about that when we get to it. But how does one go about finding MissingNo? There are 4 forms that MissingNo can be found in, and you have to know all of these forms in order to know how to specifically run into MissingNo. The normal form is the form that is the most popular and the most common due to the large number of characters needed to make it appear. This form is exclusive to the red and blue versions, even if you trade it to the yellow version. As you can tell from the image, it has a sprite that is a strange block of glitched pixels in a backwards L shape. The form appears through the old man glitch if the character in the 3rd, 5th, or 7th slot of a player's name are any of these and name markers. This form will also appear in the Mew glitch if the Pokemon last fought has any of these special stats. The other 3 forms of MissingNo, the Bootops fossil form, the Aerodactyl fossil form, and the Ghost form. In order to encounter these, you have to have any of these characters in the 3rd, 5th, or 7th slot of the player's chosen name if you're going after them via the Old Man glitch. But if you're using the Mew glitch, these special stats will work. Now some of you may be curious if MissingNo actually exists in Pokemon Yellow. Though Game Freak did fix the Old Man glitch, they didn't fix MissingNo altogether, but it takes on a completely different form. Its typing is Normal 999, whereas the original MissingNo forms in red and blue are Bird and Normal. Bird, mind you, is supposedly a prototype of the flying type we know today. The 999 type affects absolutely nothing as there's no special weaknesses, resistances, or immunities. No moves are connected to the type either, so stab is of no importance. So it's basically just a filler type that's just there to be there. It uses the palette of Pikachu and so appears as a yellow and red glitched box. It also causes some glitches that MissingNo in red and blue did not. If caught, it will cause graphical glitches, possibly rendering the player invisible and making duplicates of the player and all other on-screen characters walking you random locations on the screen. As I've proven in my bonus part Mew episode, the Mew glitch still exists in Yellow version, and you can find MissingNo if the special stat of the last Pokemon you fought are the special stats of 31, 32, 61, 62, 63, 67, 68, 69, har har, or 86. Nintendo actually has said something about MissingNo. MissingNo is a programming quirk, and is not a real part of the game. When you get this, your game can perform strangely, and the graphics will often become scrambled. The MissingNo Pokemon is most often found after you perform the Fight Safari Zone Pokemon trick. To fix the scrambled graphics, try releasing the MissingNo Pokemon. If the problem persists, the only solution is to restart your game. This means erasing your current save game and starting a brand new one. Sorry if I just insulted several races out there. I have no intention, but let's continue. Is Nintendo lying? Is MissingNo not that harmful? Well, MissingNo does cause effects in the game. Specifically, its appearance in battle will allow the item duplication glitch, which will increase the number of items in the 6th bag slot by 128 unless the number of items in the slot already exceeds 128. Encountering MissingNo has been known to interfere with the game's save data in various ways, such as adversely affecting the Hall of Fame save data and, if its stats are viewed, messing with some graphics until the stats of a normal Pokemon are viewed. When a trainer battles with MissingNo in their party, both the trainer sprite and their Pokemon sprite will be scrambled, and all other sprites will be reversed. Viewing the stats screen of a non-glitch Pokemon will remove the effects. Unlike what Nintendo says though, releasing MissingNo will not fix the graphical issues, as they are permanent to the cartridge even if the current save file is deleted. However, this is the worst MissingNo can do to your game. On the other hand, a worst case scenario can occur if you encounter a Pokemon identical in appearance, unpronounceable character, quotation mark M, unpronounceable character, or apostrophe M. But who is apostrophe M? It is the sister glitch counterpart to MissingNo and is found exclusively in the red and blue version. If you trade it over to the yellow version, it will become a 3-trainer Poké, but when MissingNo is traded to the yellow version, it will remain as MissingNo, though it will behave differently than the red and blue MissingNo. Though at first glance it seems to be exactly like MissingNo, thusly why several videos on MissingNo are actually on apostrophe M, they are actually completely different glitch Pokemon with several differences. For example, apostrophe M can evolve into Kangaskhan and Clefairy, whilst MissingNo cannot evolve, period. MissingNo's cries differed between a shortened version of Nidoran Male's cry, Ditto's cry, or Dragonair's cry. Whereas apostrophe M's cry is a slightly different version of Zapdos's cry. However, if you capture a level 0 apostrophe M and then have it sent to the PC, the game will freeze if the player tries to withdraw it. This is probably the cause of all of the inaccurate rumors that apostrophe M and other glitch Pokemon being horribly dangerous to the saved game file if corrupted. However, these two glitch Pokemon are actually not that much of a problem. They don't cause that much of a problem if you know how to use them well enough, and they're the most popular because of not only their lack of problems, but they're also glitch Pokemon that you can encounter without fucking with the game's code too much. You just have to mess around with glitches. On the other hand, if you start using Game Shark and Action Replay in order to try and find things far beyond the boundaries of the game, you'll run into several glitch Pokemon and glitch trainers that... Some of you may be questioning, what is the Old Man glitch? I'm interested in capturing these guys. In order to perform the Old Man glitch, the player must talk to the Old Man located in the north of Viridian City and allow him to demonstrate how to capture a Pokemon. After the demonstration, you must immediately fly to Cinnabar Island. Here, you should surf up and down along the east coast of the island where the water is touching the land without leaving the Cinnabar Island itself. Wild Pokemon will appear based on the player's name. This glitch was removed in the yellow version, as I said. But how does this glitch work? When the game sets up the battle between the Old Man and a Wild Beetle, it needs to temporarily change the player's name to Old Man so that it will display that name, rather than the player's entered name during the battle. The programmers decided to use the space where data for wild Pokemon found in the grass is stored, which is completely blank in Viridian City as only surfing and fishing data is used to save the player's name temporarily. Normally this would cause no abnormal activity, as this data is overwritten when the player moves to a different area. In all cities, however, this data remains blank, and so the data is never overwritten, as there is nothing new to overwrite it with. And thus, the data that was last entered, be it the player's name or wild Pokemon data from another area, remains in place. This itself still causes no harm, however an oversight in the programming of the tiles used to denote the shore of Cinnabar Island marks them as equivalent to grass. As all water routes have no real grass on them, likewise, the data is not overwritten. And so whatever data is in the slots for wild Pokemon found in the grass is used, be it the player's name or wild Pokemon found elsewhere, such as the Safari Zone. Now why do we have to have specific characters in our names to run into all these different forms of MissingNo? The name of the player has 6 hexadecimal values in it. The game only needs 3 slots of wild Pokemon data to store this. The species of a wild Pokemon the player encounters along the coast are determined by the 3rd, 5th, and 7th characters of the player's name, while their levels are determined by the 2nd, 4th, and 6th characters respectively. The game also reads the 9th and 11th slots as wild Pokemon and the 8th and 10th slots as their respective levels. However, due to the 7-character name limit, these slots are not used unless using a preset name, so are blank 00, causing apostrophe M to appear at level 0. Now some of you may also be curious as to what the Mew glitch is. As I've already mentioned, my bonus episode Mew already examples the glitch in its most popular form, including several other videos that also show it in different variations that allow you to capture any kind of Pokemon you want. Further details as to how this glitch works the way it does can be found at Bulbapedia, which by the way I am citing as my source for all the information on MissingNo right now. I am not taking any credit for any of this information. Except for this next one, which is just my presumption based on what I've been told via all sorts of videos that I've looked around the subject for. Now, why do these things actually exist in the game as they are? From what I could gather, MissingNo appears to be what remains of the 39 Pokemon removed from the original game, as Red and Blue were originally intended to have 190 Pokemon at first. Though they got 649 Pokemon right now, there's probably some concept Pokemon lost somewhere. Some of the artwork for the removed Pokemon do look like Pokemon reworked into later generations, like Chikorita and Girafarig. Apostrophe M, again from what I'm presuming, appears to be what remains of when Cubone's evolved form, Marowak, was to be capable of evolving into Kangaskhan, potentially explaining why it was in Giovanni's team when it was a normal type and a ground type themed team, as Apostrophe M can evolve into a Kangaskhan at level 0, allowing for a Kangaskhan that knows moves it can't normally know, like Water Gun and Fly, which can then be traded over to a Gen 2 game like Gold, Silver, and Crystal. It can also evolve into a Clefairy at level 128 of all levels, that's odd, which means this could also be what remains of a pre-evolved form of Clefairy, which would eventually become Generation 2's Cleffa. However, these aren't the only games that actually cause characters to show up because of rendering wrong things. On November 24th of 1992, the ever-so-beloved Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was released, and entering 1992-1124 in the sound test will enable the debug mode. The debug mode allows you to access all sorts of crazy inventions and all that sort. However, if you place too many random waterfalls in Emerald Hill, when you turn back into Sonic, you'll notice that he has a completely different color palette, being that of a green and black color. This appearance otherwise has no special or significant abilities, but he's apparently popular enough to have become his own fan character named Ashura. Another character known as Weknia can be found in Knuckles Chaotix. If you screw around in the sound test, you'll eventually get the game to screw up and give you a character known as Weknia. Weknia in and of itself is not a fun character to play as whenever it does anything a normal character should do, the game completely freezes over. There's nothing you can do about it. However, if you can actually get the thing to work, you'll notice it has similar abilities to Tails. That's because Weknia, despite looking like a white echidna, is actually what remains of Tails from the game. Yes, Sonic and Tails were originally going to be in the game, and this is what remains of Tails. I'm presuming what remains of Sonic became Mighty the Armadillo. So that's MissingNo for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and guys, just remember, the next time you talk about MissingNo, don't confuse it for apostrophe N, and don't say it's fatal to your game. Just remember that there are worse. Far, far worse!